Hey love, I'm Gena. I'm a fitness and nutrition coach who helps women find relief from food obsession, body shame, and perfectionism so they can feel calm, confident, and strong without obsession. If you're exhausted from overthinking food, afraid of weight gain, or stuck trying to do everything right but still never feeling enough, you're in the right place. I know this terrain deeply. I've lived through restriction, treatment, binging, rebuilding, and the identity loss that comes with letting go of control. And now I help women stop punishing themselves, rebuild trust with their bodies, and create strength and health that actually feels sustainable. This is a space where healing and body goals get to coexist, where fitness doesn't cost you your peace, and where you don't have to do this alone. Take a breath. You're safe here. This is the Fit Without Obsession podcast. Hey guys, this is a really personal episode to me because I feel like this is something that I have struggled with not only when I was deep in my eating disorder, but also even years after. Something that I've actually struggled with since I was a kid. And I know how scary this can feel, right? Like losing your period really does mess with your trust in your body. And I do think that fitness spaces really don't talk about this honestly or enough. And that's why I really want to bring it up today and allow you to see how you can get your period back without that overgeneralization saying you just need to eat more and gain weight and stop working out. Because let's be real, if you're anything like me, you don't want to do those things. You still want to show up for yourself. You still want to have goals. You still want to empower your body to feel healthy and feel good. So really today, what we're going to do is talk about, how to do this without getting in the way of losing what is at the core of you, right? But still bringing back trust within your body. And I just want to remind you before we kind of dive into this that you were not broken, you're not failing. This is something that happens, right? And I'm not going to normalize it, right? Like it's not super normal to lose your period, right? Like obviously it's normal to continue to have your cycle, but also a lot of people deal with this and we don't want to have shame around it. We really just want to come into this episode with having an open mind because I promise you can get your period back naturally. And really, I just want to go through and let you know too that your period is a vital sign. Like it's not some reward. It's not something that is, earned. Like really, it should be something that is naturally always happening. Like really, when we go to the doctor, it's one of the first questions they ask you, right? Like when was your last period? Because it matters. It matters just as much as your blood pressure. It matters just as much as your heart rate. Like it's something that literally is a determinant of health, right? And like how your body is responding. So when we are missing it, like that is really showing that it's a stress signal. Your body is under stress somehow. It could be from a million bajillion different things, right? But a lot of what it comes down to, especially if you're a high achieving, disciplined woman, like I am, and like a lot of my listeners are, right? A lot of it can do with food and exercise, but not just around the actual act of it, but around your thoughts around it, right? So really when we're in this place of not having our period, it's about survival. It's not like a discipline or a willpower issue. It's just that your body right now is trying to take care of you and it doesn't have the means to, ovulate when it's really trying to show up for you in other ways. So I want to first go into how to get back, right? Because that's why we're all here. That's what you want to know, right? So we're going to kind of first start off by talking about eating enough. I brought that up before. So we need to make sure that you do have enough energy available. And when I say eat enough, I'm not going to say eat more because you might be eating 1,200 calories and then you start eating 1,500 calories and you go, hey, Gena, I'm eating more. I added food. I'm not feeling starving all the time. But really, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to be enough for your body. And actually, you might even have to eat more than you're expending to really actually truly be able to get your body back to the place of trust, right? So I will say, the biggest thing when it comes to food too is that carbs and fats are not optional. I know that so many of us, especially we're in the fitness world, we've heard protein, and protein is great. I am not going to demonize protein, but what protein can do is it can kind of crowd out sometimes the other carbs and fats, and it's the most satiating macronutrient. So sometimes when we're eating a high protein diet, we're actually not feeling hungry, therefore kind of under eating carbs and fats. And those are actually going to be what teaches your body hey, there's enough energy available to ovulate, right? And fats are so crucial for your hormonal health too. Literally your hormone signals are built on fats, right? So we need to make sure that we're not cutting out two of those things. And I know that in the dieting world, we always want to lower carbs or lower fats. And I'm here to tell you that's the opposite when we want to get our period back, right? And I do want to even bring up the point too that clean eating can still be underfueling. I think, we think that we're doing something for our health when we eat whole foods, when we eat nutrient-dense foods, and please, yes, continue to do that, right? But just because you're eating like eggs and toast every morning and like calling it clean, that doesn't mean that we're still getting enough for our body. Now, another thing that we need to start doing to get your period back is I talked about how you're not getting it currently because you have a lot of stress happening in your body. But emotional stress counts too. So we really need to actually reduce your stress load, not just like with food, not just with exercise, right? But actual stress. This could be work stress, like relationship stress. It could be friendship stress. It could be that you have mental health kind of stress happening, right? And your body does not separate mental from physical stress. Like if your body is sensing stress, it literally thinks that a bear is out to get you, right? Like that is how our body responds. And even if we say like, okay, there's not a bear over there, like I'm fine, I'm just stressed out about this work deadline, like your body doesn't understand that, right? So what we need to recognize is that rest and really taking time to decompress, like actually like have stress management, taking time for self-care, like that's part of healing. And it's not a pause from progress. It's actually honestly like necessary to make progress. You cannot be going 100 miles a minute all the time and like be able to think that you're going to make the progress that you want and have your period, right? Like that's why we're here listening. So another thing that we really need to do is adjust your training. And I'm not going to say that you need to stop working out. That might work beautifully for some people. That might help you get your period back. But like, if you are like me, if you're someone that loves the gym, if you love moving, like I'm a dancer, like at my core, I'm a mover. I can not just cut out all movement. I remember being in eating disorder treatment and like, obviously I was very underweight at the time and they cut out, I couldn't even go on walks like with the rest of the group, right? Like literally just down to the mailbox and back. I was so essentially bedridden and I was miserable from that, right? So I don't want to say that you have to just completely stop moving. I never think that you have to, but I will say you need to pull back on the intensity. You need to stop doing as much. So especially like if you're doing like HIIT high intensity, like we definitely need fewer HIIT sessions. We really can focus on strength and like that can stay within your routine, but we need to reduce the volume and make sure that recovery is happening. So some examples of this, right? You might be training 5 days a week. And that might be even cut back from like where you were at 7 days before. And that's something I want to bring up too on this episode is that you maybe have made some of these shifts, but you might be kind of in this middle ground of like, you didn't really go all in to some of these shifts. Like you might be eating a little bit more. You might be training a little bit less. You might be a little bit less stressed at work, but our body needs to like fully feel like it can trust you. So we really need to like ask yourself, like, am I really going all in on some of these things? Like, you might need to only train 2 or 3 days a week. You might need to actually do only 30-minute exercises instead of like an hour and a half at the gym. Like, and I know that feels hard. And I know it feels like a sacrifice, but like we have to understand that like there is a reason that you're not having your period. There's a reason that your body is pulling back. It's because you're doing too much, right? So it's not saying that things you're doing are bad, but a lot of the things you might be doing are in excess, right? So we really need to just examine that. Now, another thing that, we need to do to get your period back is have the approach of consistency over perfection. So our bodies, the way that they're going to get trust back is doing the same daily rhythms, right? So that means creating daily safety for yourself. And it's okay to, have some imperfect days, but as long as we're going back to those regular rhythms, that's going to matter way more than like trying to be perfect, right? Because realistically, we can't be perfect. And if we're going up and down, if we're fueling at different times, if we're doing intense workouts some days and not other days, like our body is still going to be in the state of confusion, even if you do, give it some more rest and recovery on some days. So that needs to be a daily occurrence, right? So that also looks like starting and stopping, because I think you've probably gone into this before of like, you know what, I want to get my period back, or you know what, I want to deal with my stress, and we do really good for like a couple days, but then we go back into this like old pattern. And then if we're going back and forth, right, it's similar to the binge restrict cycle. Like it's not going to ever go away until we change the script, right? Until we do something different. Your body really needs predictability. So we need to look at like, how can I instill that every single day into my routine? And then the last thing is to have safety over control. Because control, while it feels good on the outside, like I know you think you want to be in control, you're probably trying to control getting your period back, right? Like, but when we're in this state of control, like that tells your body that danger is present, that you need to be like on like lookout, you need to lock down, like you need to brace. Like that is not a place where like your body is going to want to naturally ovulate, right? Because we're just feeling intensely stressed. So when we can find safety, that really tells your body that it can function again, right? Like that gives it permission to do what it's supposed to do, which is have your period. You're supposed to do that, right? Now, I understand that there are a lot of fears of like why you maybe haven't tackled some of these things and why you're listening to this and you're cringing a little bit. And, it might be that you're thinking like, what if I gain weight? What if I lose my body? What if my goals disappear? What if I never feel like myself again? And I want to go through these kind of one at a time. Okay. The gaining weight one, right? I want you to sit there and actually think, what am I actually afraid is going to happen if I gain weight? Because guess what? Your friends are going to still love you if you gain 10 pounds. I promise you that. And if they don't, then you probably shouldn't be friends with them, right? Like, really realistically, actually, and I'm going to share a little personal story. I have gained a lot of weight in my legs, especially through my own period recovery, because that's like, as women where we like hold weight and it's actually really healthy for ovulation. And I, at first, was really self-conscious because I was like, you know what? My legs look bigger. Like, oh my gosh, I don't know how I feel. This is uncomfortable. My husband literally like said to me the other day, he's like, your legs are like one of the favorite parts of you that I love, right? Like he like loves my legs. He thinks they look great. And I'm over here thinking that they're like the worst part of my body. I should like hide them. I'm so self-conscious. Like that just shows you that like we can get so wrapped up in these fears, but like other people, it really doesn't matter. So like, what is that fear, right? And also too, like you're not going to lose your body. Like your body is your body. It might change. And actually it's meant to change. It's never going to be perfect. But I also want to normalize that like even if you do gain a little bit of weight, feel like you lose your body for a little bit to get your period back. That doesn't have to be a forever thing. It might be uncomfortable for a little bit, like a couple of months, a year, whatever it is. But that doesn't mean that you can't get back to training more. You can't get back to, maybe feeling a little bit more lean. But right now your body is screaming like, hey, we're not having a period. You need to do something else. So we need a different approach. And then we can maybe go back to those other goals that you have in the future. So again, like your goals aren't going to disappear. You might just have to reframe and create different goals for this time right now in the season of life. And I just want you to know that health is not the enemy of aesthetics. Like realistically, like I feel the healthiest I have ever felt in my body now. And maybe I don't look the thinnest, but I'm not at my largest either. Like I feel like because I actually feel healthy from within, I feel energized, I feel good. This is the best I've felt about my body and the best body image I've had because of that, right? And I also want to remind you that bodies do not thrive under fear. So if you're feeling like you're in the state of just being terrified of gaining weight, like your body is not going to change for the better, right? Like we really need to just trust that it's going to take care of you. And also, like one last reminder I want to give you, right, is that temporary change does not equal permanent loss. Again, these things don't have to be forever changes. You just have to be willing to actually stick to them, because that was a big thing I said before, right, with getting your period back, is that you actually need to stop stopping and starting. So just start this and trust that you will return to the place that you feel most confident, even if you get a little bit astray for a little bit. And I also just want to share a little bit about my own period recovery journey. And I actually want to say, like, I tried to do it perfectly in the beginning. I actually tried to like micromanage with tracking, and I still had the goal of eating more, yes. And I still had the goal of cutting back with workouts, yes. But I wasn't actually listening to what my hunger was doing. I wasn't listening to how recovery felt. Like I thought I knew the plan to follow, but really I was still doing too much, right? And I want to let you know, like, that kept me stuck longer. And it's like, now that I'm actually making the changes that I need to be making to like recover fully, like it's happening so much more quickly. My body's responding so much faster. So that's why we have to lean in and go all in sometimes. And I just want you to know that I really started healing when I softened. It's not when I tightened control, even though I am like a control freak at times. Like that is kind of been my nature my whole life. Like that has been something I've really had to work through and let go to like actually have my body start to feel good again. You can want your period back and still care about your physique. Like that is a truth that I need you to know. It does not have to be one or the other. Those goals don't cancel each other out. And your body is not betraying you. It's really just communicating right now, right? So again, you're not weak for wanting these answers, and you're not dramatic for caring about this. You also don't have to navigate any of this alone. I want you to know that there is a way forward that does not involve self-abandonment. And really, if this stirred something in you, if you feel like you want to do these things, but you don't know where to start, or you feel scared, or you feel like you can't do it by yourself, because Lord knows, like, that's how I felt, right? I want you to know, like, I'm here too. Like, I am someone that gets it. I'm someone that has been in the depths of like this work. So you can always reach out to me on Instagram and, just shoot me a message and just say, hey, Gena, like, I'm struggling with getting my period back. And I would love to help, give you some specific strategy in your life besides the ones that we talked about today to really help propel you forward. But again, just remember, like, just because your period is gone right now doesn't mean it's going to be gone forever. And also, it doesn't mean that you have to give up on the things that are important to you. Thank you so much for being here and listening to the Fit Without Obsession podcast. If this episode made you feel seen, understood, or a little less alone, make sure you're following so you don't miss any future episodes. And if you feel called to share, you can tag me on Instagram at @thefitbean_. I love connecting with you there. If you're ready for deeper support, whether that's calming food obsession, rebuilding trust with your body, or getting stronger without slipping back into old patterns, you'll find ways to work with me linked in the show notes. And remember, you are not broken. You are not behind. And you don't need to earn your worth through control. You can want peace and strength. You can heal and build a body you feel at home in. I'm rooting for you always. Talk soon.